I really, really enjoy this curriculum. If you told me that I was going to be using a curriculum that came out of a box, I would have looked at you like, but it's the best curriculum I think I've ever been involved with, and I sure hope you embrace it like I do. So the first thing that I do when I do the Community on Demand is I do a lesson with my students about soft skills. We talk about what they are, why they're important. I have students identify soft skills that they know about, and then we talk about some of the soft skills that they don't know about, like leadership and speech and how to speak to a crowd and those kinds of things. We also discuss how those soft skills are important when getting a job, when doing a school interview for college, or even just talking to people in the community or teachers in their school. So that's the first thing that we do. I have the students take the cards, and what they do is they go through all the cards along with a self-evaluation. And the self-evaluation sheet basically has on the sheet each of the skills that the cards discuss, and it asks them whether they have used the skill, they have the skill but have never used it, or they don't have the skill and need the skill. I keep these sheets in a notebook because it helps me to help the students see growth over the semester that I have them. And I also use a employability skills observation so that when we're going through the projects, a lot of the soft skills that we talk about in our Community on Demand are on the employability evaluation, so that I can have a quantitative way to grade them as they go through their project. So that helps me out with doing some grades. And the students and I also have conversation about them, about skills that they know that they're learning, skills that they need to learn, and how to best go about doing that. The next step is identifying what problem are we going to try to solve. The easiest way that I've found, because I'm new to this program, is I decided that we would do our local community, meaning our school. So I gave every student a clipboard and told the front office that we were going to take a walk, and we walked the school. We walked the outside of the school to see things that could be improved there, and we also walked the inside of the school to see if there were some projects that we might be able to do inside the school. Last semester, one of the things that we did is we have a new Apex counselor. So we created a safe spot room that had calming things for students to do, like coloring and puzzles and logic problems, music, different kinds of furniture and that kind of thing, just a safe spot for them to land to calm down, or if they just needed to go talk to somebody. We're real proud of that. This semester, as we did our walk, the kids wrote down all the things that they thought. I wanted all the kids to think about what their idea of a community project would be. So all the kids took a clipboard, and as we walked around the school, they wrote down any problem that they thought we might be able to solve. So when we came back to the classroom, all of those problems were discussed, because I want every student to feel like their ideas are important. So we discussed and figured out that what we really would like to do is to do a garden. And our purpose of this project it's real near and dear to my heart. Our school also runs a food bank for 20 of our families, and we provide food for them about at least once a month, boxes and over breaks and that kind of thing, so that their food supply is augmented by some of the things that we have. So our students decided that one of the things that they would love to do was be able to provide fresh food and fresh vegetables for those families. So this is kind of twofold. One, it teaches students that farm to table thing about raising food, because a lot of our kids don't know about that. But it also is a very giving to our school community, and it directly impacts our students. So I'm very proud of them for doing that. Is we have to assemble teams. So in order to assemble the teams, what I did is I gave all the students back their sheet that they did on their assessment grid. They went through the cards and they pulled out all the things of skills, all the cards of the skills that they had strengths in, that they knew that they could bring to the table. And what I did is I gave each group of 5 or 6 kids a board like this, a big board. And what those students did is they put down on the board the strengths that they could bring to the table for the project, whether it be they're good at math, they're good at finance, they're good at talking to people respectfully so that maybe they could talk to community leaders. They're good researchers, they're good, any skill that they had, they put down on the board. And from there, the teams kind of formed, because if there was a team that was heavy with math people, we swapped them so that teams would have players in each area of expertise that would help the team be successful. So what they did then is they took all of that down, they formed their teams, and then they assigned themselves jobs. All I did was walk around and ask questions. That's the beauty of this curriculum. I'm more of the facilitator. I'm not the lecturer for this. So they decided who was going to do some research, because a lot of them have never grown food. I suggested that we do hay bale gardens because that way we wouldn't have to dig dirt and those kinds of things. So they started immediately figuring out what they needed to do. Where are they going to get the hay? What are they going to use to fertilize? Can they compost? Who's going to water them and take care of the gardens when we're not at school? They have a folder, a class folder in my classroom. So all of these things and ideas are compiled in their class folder, which will eventually become their presentation, because one of the things that I want them to do is after they do their work, I want them to present it to our principal, to Miss Perry, to our community leaders and those kinds of things, so that they can show off their work. The last thing I wanted to talk about is community outreach. I have done some community outreach for this project simply because I didn't know a whole lot about hay bale gardens. So I went to the Farm Bureau and talked to the director there, and she gave me some information and resources that I'm going to pass along to the students. I'm still working my way through the book so that I'm knowledgeable, more knowledgeable, so that I can help the students with research. There are also many farmers in our area that I'm sure would be, if we reached out to them, would help us with providing hay bales and expertise with how to even grow gardens, what fertilizers and nutrients the soil needs. So hopefully with COVID, what I'm hoping we can do is set up some Zoom meetings so that students can do some questions and answers with them. And I want to also have parents come in, and any teacher that wants to help, we'll accept anybody to be able to make this successful. So that's kind of in a nutshell what I do. I'm really excited about starting to implement this project. We just got a new set of students for the second semester, and so during the time that it's really cold, we are planning and making all our plans and research and making our community calls and that kind of stuff. So as soon as we can plant, we are going to get in there and plant and see what happens. We're hoping to grow some fast-growing vegetables so that some of those can be seen hopefully before we go out for summer. And before we leave for summer, we're going to plant some things that are hardy things like potatoes and sweet potatoes so that they will grow while we're over the summer, and we can harvest them and have them for the fall when we come back. So I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to be a successful project. I really, really enjoy this curriculum. If you told me that I was going to be using a curriculum that came out of a box, I would have looked at you like, but it's the best curriculum I think I've ever been involved with, and I sure hope you embrace it like I do. Thank you so much.